I am going to share with you our report of Working Group 21, Communication and Outreach. You have copies in your folders, but I'm going to walk you through it. Mine is okay, yeah? Sorry for the technicalities. Thank you. Thank you very much. Colleagues, I'm going to walk you through or talk you through the report of Working Group 21, and it will be brief because you have it in your folders. Colleagues, the working group has got several members, and several of them are with us in the house, but maybe they're still out for the break. But Juliana is around. Anybody else of the working group who's available? Okay, with the few that are available, very quickly, colleagues, our working group with its term and mandate, the role of the communication working group, and it's in implementing the communication strategy of COPOLCO, and we have got a number of terms of reference. And all this is all about to support the COPOLCO Secretariat to engage mainly with COPOLCO external stakeholders and also develop materials that will lead to the different stakeholders to get to know what is done in COPOLCO, how consumers can benefit, and all the aspects that we have been discussing throughout, trying to communicate and engage within and outside COPOLCO. So our terms is all about to promote and monitor the relationship with other international organizations. I'll speak to that shortly, how we're doing that to identify opportunities of communication and outreach. We'll see that in the report, to implement and also develop the overall communication, which last plenary, when you last year, it was approved, and it was we have started implementing some of them, also making recommendations. Some of the aspects that have been shared here led to discussions within the CAG, and we have done a number of revised. Currently, if you go back a little bit on the general observations, a little up. Okay, it's all right. So you'll find that we have a number of activities that we have worked on. We have held, since the last plenary, we have held, okay, thank you. So we are honored to have been worked with the different aspects and the milestones that we have received and achieved. We have not achieved them as a group, and also working with the different members and giving us the tireless support. So the journey that we have walked leads us to a number of things, but we have one observation, that as we like to engage new or communicate to the outside world, the emphasis needs to put on young consumers. The consumers determine the market trends. So once they appreciate we'll need to see how best they can influence consumption, production, and other marketing trends. The innovations and the pathways that we need to approach will need investment. And the discussions that we have had, we need to invest so that all the aspects that we are thinking of to bring about the increasing outreach will need requisite investments and making sure to see to it that we contribute to the overall vision and of COPOLCO and that of ISO to work for consumers better. The details you can get into in the report. Can we go down, please? So as we go into the activities, as I was mentioning earlier, we have managed to do 2 meetings. The last one was held in March this year, and some of the works contributed to leading to other meetings. So with regards to reviewing the publications and online content, we have managed, and you have seen one of the products at this plenary, the ISO at the glance. It is one of the latest versions that you are having, and we would like to do that continuously. So we have had extensive discussions on how to use the online platforms, and we would like to see how best we go through it. And now, earlier, the working group 23 talked about having the COPOLCO website, a separate website. All that came out of these discussions, and we spread them into other working groups. So all other materials, you'll find them in the annex that we are working on. Can we go down, please? Sorry, colleagues, it's a little slow, but okay. Now, outreach in the international and regional aspects. Yeah, we have had a discussion extensively on the outreach and aspects to do with climate. We have some of the benefits. Some of the members are in here, the new Lysian member, and then we're discussing with UNEP the Consumer Information Program, and we have had engagements there. So to continuously also open up and communicate with different regions. One of the successes, I would say, we have had, yesterday we had COMESA, and they were talking about the Consumer Protection Committee bringing in aspects. The discussion started sometime when we had the Global Congress here in Nairobi in December. So that's when we started discussing with the Chief Executive of COMESA, Competition Commission, and we are happy that they came on board. So this is one of the other achievements, and we would like to see other regions coming into that. So we hope that we can increase on our outreach. Support to other working groups, this is our desire, and we hope this coming year we'll realize it, to support other working groups. Working Group 21 being a revolving working group, we go to each working group, we get to know what they are doing, and also we share our communication and outreach initiatives, looking at how the digital learning, how best do we spread it out and inform the different players and all the outside stakeholders that we are talking to, aspects to do with consumer actions on consumer safety approaches in other working groups, so that we spread it out. So this is one of the aspirations that we have, and we took a decision that we will be always meeting after the other working groups, so that we get feedback and see how best we pass it on to within and outside COPOLCO. So colleagues, having shared with you all that, we have some draft resolutions that we would love to call upon you as they are roll up, and I lead you through them. Our working group has got some challenges. We are so many in numbers, but we are so few in active working group activities. So that is one of the major challenges. And this is seen in many other working groups. So how best do we work that out? It will be very important. So colleagues, some of the resolutions that we would love to have here, or for you to note, that COPOLCO notes that the report of Working Group 21 as shared in N783 is taken on board. And this wouldn't be me. I don't like to thank myself, but I thank all other members of the working group, but because what I'm presenting here is all the teamwork. And then 3, that you approve our our work plan that is in the annex, so that we are in position to do result reporting at the next plenary, so that, and also be in position to tell us that Working Group 21, you have played a role in promoting COPOLCO within and outside its stakeholders. So colleagues, there are a number of activities that we have completed, but some are still work in progress, and then the others are going to lead us through the 2024-2025 session, and many other products that we are coming up in brief. Colleagues, that's what I can share with you, and I will be in position to respond to some, but I've got also other committee members like Juliana. She will be also able to bring, Julie has brought in a lot of experience from BSI and different environments she's working in to see to it that Working Group 21 delivers and meets its terms of reference and obligations. Thank you. Sorry? Yeah, that's what I've said, that I'm done. Thank you, Madam Chair. Julie, can take the floor, please.
Thank you, Henry. You're an excellent, very proactive convener. I just wanted to say that we have lots of really important activities on our work plan, and I think it's very positive and valuable to be updating and documentation and creating new documentation. But one thing that I think is really important, which you highlight in at the bottom of section 3.2, is that we were going to ask ISO Central Secretariat to explore setting up a separate COPOLCO website, because I think if we're creating all of these documents, it's very important that we have some, to store them, so that then if we do progress with increasing COPOLCO social media, for example, we need, that points to the documents, but we need somewhere to point to, if you see what I mean. So I just wondered if there was any feedback from the Secretariat, if there has been any progress on this work for the website, or if there is anything else that we can do to progress that. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Thanks for the question. Yes, we've had contacts now with our comm graphics department, and they have said that it would be quite feasible to set up at least a kind of an information portal similar to what ISO technical committees have for their committees, where this can be, where the important information and references and links can be centralized, so that it's like a one-stop shop, a point of entry into important matters related to consumers and COPOLCO and so on. So we had this contact before, just after Easter, sort of late April, early May. So we were then in the midst of planning and setting up everything for the meeting. So we got into a bit of a time crunch, but it's not dropped. So to go forward with that. And there will be support and assistance with setting up that site.
Thank you. Sorry, just a quick question. Is the intention, that's very positive news, is the intention that this would be public, or are you, the way you frame it as an information portal, I wonder whether you're thinking it would be closed, because I think there's value there for us to share more widely with external stakeholders some of these documents. So do you have any ideas on whether it would be public or not?
Most of it would be public.
Great.
And there could be a way to access from there to the members only site. But
Wonderful.
It's really outreach. It's wider than just the, shall we say, preaching to the converted.
Yes.
It's not only for the community, but it's really outward facing.
Thank you. That would be really valuable.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Chair, I will need to apologize to members online who are saying the voice and clarity is not all that clear. So sorry about that, members online, for the disservice. So, Chair, there are no questions online and there are no hands on the floor. So I think I can fly. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, Madam Chair. And thank you, colleagues.
Now we'll move to agenda item 10, report from Working Group 22, Consumer Standards Action Group. So I'd like to invite co-convener of Working Group 22, Lu Chen-yang. She's supposed to be online. Lu?
Luna, it's online.
Hello.
Luna.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to meet you online. First, apologize because as Liu Chengyang's single where she is today is not very good. I will give the report on behalf of her. Sorry for that. And next, I will introduce the main work of WG22 in the past year. First, let's review the scope and the mandate of WG22. Next page, please. Next.
It's a slight delay here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think I got off. She's not singing?
It's not move. Yes, it's okay. Thank you.
It's a slight delay.
Scope.
It just takes a little bit longer to switch.
Okay. The scope of WG22 is evaluating ISO's technical activity from the consumer viewpoint, investigating how standardization and the related policy can address gaps in consumer protection, and monitoring market trends and the standards that are important for consumer protection, and makes recommendations on standards deliverables. The mandate of WG22 is identifying consumer issues and priorities in standardization, exploring and addressing general issues of consumer participation in technical communities, monitoring and reporting on the activity of consumer representatives in identified key areas of active ISO and IEC and facilitating network in areas of consumer interest. Next, please. WG22 held 2 virtual meetings since the last COPOLCO plenary on 12 December 2023 and 6 March 2024. Next, please. At present, we are mainly promoting the projects as follows. Now we have 2 NWIPs ongoing. The first is Consumer Sustainability Guidelines for providing product sustainability information in e-commerce, proposed by BSI. and the second is the product and service information proposed by SAC, China. These two NWIPs both just finished the ballot on 12/6 April, and 22 will push the further update and submit the final draft for ISO member body vote. The third project is about consumer protection in AI. WG22 has long had AI on its radar screen as part of its abiding interest in digital issues. This past year, a task group from WG22 started working with the COPOLCO Secretariat and expert heads from WG24 to investigate consumer issues with AI, and has produced a draft position paper on consumer issues in AI. The fourth project is about broadband communications. WG22 developed a survey on broadband communications for COPOLCO members. The survey summary is in the WG22 report. Based on the survey findings regarding broadband communications, WG22 notes currently existing standards and recommends additional scoping through a gap analysis of relevant standards and coordination with ITU. The fifth is assistive technologies for vulnerable consumers. WG22 has completed a study and produced a scoping report to validate key consumer issues, relevant standards work, and potential gaps and opportunities for consumer input to standardization in assistive technologies. In addition to the items above, two standards named Consumer Protection Privacy by Design for Consumer Goods and Services were published in 2023, which original from COPOLCO's investigations and reflect consumers' concerns with building privacy requirements into product design and life cycles. WG22 provided useful input to ISO IEC JTC1 SC27 as it developed an application to transform ISO PC317 into a TC, which was balloted to ISO members. In addition, ISO AWI 24086 about digital legends is originally developed within WG22 and then was submitted by SA directly for vote within TC46 SC11. It will provide guidance on how to manage a person's digital accounts and assets after death, and provide clarity as to what consumers' rights are in relation to their digital media. Okay, next is ensuring consumer participation in PTCs. WG22 is developing a set of criteria that use the sustainability lens to concentrate on pieces and areas for interest consumer engagement. Work is ongoing and will be reported as it develops. Next, please. Next is about what we need engagement on. SAC proposed a new NWIP entitled Products and Related Services, Information for Consumers as a Form 4 to develop the revision of SOIC Guide 14 into an international standard by a PC. Welcome experts joined the revision of ISO/IC Guide 14 as an international standard. Next, please.
That was the last one.
Next.
That was the last slide. It takes a few seconds. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much.
Luna, would you take the question? I see NC, please.
Thank you for your presentation. I just wanted to have clarification on, we support a revision of Guide 14, but we need to clarify the purpose and justification for converting it into an international standard. We'd first like to see the revision of the guide before considering it to be transformed into a standard.
Luna,
Yes, yes.
did you catch the questions?
Not very clear. You mean,
Okay, I think the Guide 14, and you proposed change the Guide 14 into individual standards. So the justification and what you are aiming to when you propose the changes. So I think this one can help from Secretariat because it's been discussed several times. If Luna, you don't mind, then I'll recommend the Secretariat answer this question.
Yeah,
And
I
we
can.
have this.
If I can intervene, we can do the updating simultaneously with transforming it into an international standard. So updating the Guide 14 and transforming it into an international standard can be done in the same time. I'm wondering, why would you like to see it done in 2 steps? Anyway, the content of the guide will be, while transforming it into an international standards, needs to be amended, so enhanced.
Can I add?
We can take that into the working group 22, but if you can give us more details, that will help us, starting the discussion there.
Yeah, thank you, Adrian. Our discussion was around guides and international standards are very different deliverables. An international standard contains normative references, requirements, and we're wondering what would be the justification for converting this guide into an international standard?
You want?
Dana, I'll give Dana, and then I'll take a question. I see many hands up, so would you please little wait, and then Dana will.
Some of the thinking around the conversion of this guide into an international standard was consideration of who was actually reading this guide. And it was also discussed a few COPOLCO plenaries ago that it was not getting enough attention. And at that time, there was no member body willing to step forward for this revision. And so that idea was dropped. But then in the working group more recently, there was a feeling by many that the guide, the content of the guide was really oriented more to suppliers, and that it should be read by suppliers and manufacturers. And therefore, by the nature of such a deliverable, is more appropriate as an international standard, because to remind you, ISO IC guides are meant for use by standards writers. So I mean, there's no particular position that I have, but the working group felt that it would be very useful to have this conversion so that the principles in the document would be better recognized and read, and especially by the right target audience. That's the thinking behind it. Thank you.
First, I see BSI and then goes to the annex. BSI, please.
Thank you. BSI, we strongly support the comments made by Linda from ANSI. The working group can put forward a recommendation, but the decision has to be made by the plenary, I guess, and discussed by us. So this is the time to do that. I agree with what Linda was saying, because it's unclear to me what the vote was on. Was the vote to revise the guide, or was the vote to convert the guide into a standard? So that's one thing I'm not clear about, what the vote was asking. And I also feel that we do need more information under the purpose and justification to help us make this decision as to whether it would be useful to convert into a full standard, because there are some overlaps here, I think, with the new work item proposal as well for product sustainability online information, because it mentions sustainability, it mentions online information as well. So I just feel a clearer scope and clearer information on what we're making a decision about would be good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Julie. Can you all raise your voice up so that we can hear front and back and speak slowly for all of us benefit? And let's take a question from Anek.
Just an input. I think from Anek's side would support ANSI on this. We made a question to our members within ANEC in terms of the need of revision and turning it into a standard, and we didn't really receive a strong response for that. I could see that there are reasons for revision indeed, but have not fully understood what sort of the big case would be into turning it into a standard, but I might be convinced by others. Thank you.
Thank you for suggestion. Okay. And Secretary also having discussion on this. Well, I guess we need to have some more explanation about these issues. It's been several months that we've been discussing these issues, but clearly not many of us understand why Working Group 22 working on Guide 14 for converting to the standards. So let's make a suggestion to Working Group 22 that have some more discussion can be shared with other COPOLCO members and other Working Group 24, other working groups. Ansi, you, yes?
Thank you, Moon. Just very quickly and more generally on the topic of guides, the U.S. would like to propose a resolution noting that many ISO COPOLCO guides may be outdated despite confirmation results from systematic reviews. The COPOLCO CAG, this is the draft, the COPOLCO CAG is requested to identify outdated guides and recommend revisions via COPOLCO committee internal ballot or a resolution. That would be the U.S. proposal, so we can more generally approach revisions to guides more systematically, but outside of the systematic review.
Yes, I support your suggestion. We developed guides, and last year there was 3 or 4 of guides has been revised. I mean, had a systemic review process, but one we need to keep attention about guide that can be revised or can be kept, because we develop the guides that want to be used very widely for the consumer interest, but I assume that is not very successful. So that one, that we need to be very structural approaches and systemic approaches that monitor guides and try to keep them updated. So I strongly agree, and that can be our mission, our task. And the Dana will explain the CIB result on these items. And we have reaching the time, so please.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring up the result of the vote. We had 34 members, including the United Kingdom, who approved the transformation of ISO IEC Guide 14 into an international standard. There was 1 no vote from Australia, and then we had 34 abstentions. Based on these results, we understood that there was maybe not very, very strong support, but general support for the transformation of Guide 14 into an international standard. But now we're hearing some reservations from the floor. Yes, Sadie?
Sorry, can I ask a question? Because I think this is a confusion about whether the new work item proposal received in the pack is not saying the same title as a Guide 14 revision. It does not say the revision of Guide 14. It says, you can help me. you read out what the new work item says.
The question 1 was, do you approve the transformation of ISO IEC Guide 14 into an ISO international standard?
Yes. But then the new work item proposal is called Products and Related Services Information for Consumers, and goes on to make limited suggestions. So I think I just propose this may be a confusion of the understanding of the members in responding, like, to this situation. Maybe Antti can comment, but as I read it, it seemed to not follow on.
Okay, so this is kind of dilemma because we already have a CIB result with all COPOLCO members, even though not many of members not attended. However, this is a result, but we have many concerns, and there are some chances to be misunderstood. Then we can have discussions. But thing is, once we made a members vote, we should respect. Unless there is any mistake, clear mistake. So that's kind of dilemma, but it gives us many implications. We should be very strongly involved when we have a CIB, like committee, COPOLCO committee, internal ballot. We should be involved, just not checking by someone in NSP. So make this happen again, and not miss the right time to devise guides. So that's the kind of implication learned from this experience. But still, there are many kind of objection and concerns. So let's have a little time to discuss this one. Take a look on the process of CIB and the questions. If we're giving the majority of members not take a right answer, the questions. So I'd like to, you want to make a last comment, right? Ansi, please.
Thank you, Moon. I'll be very quick. I just wanted to echo what Sadie was saying about the confusion within the U.S. Member body. We had to explain over and over what it meant. Was it a revision of Guide 14, or was it converting into an international standard? So that wasn't clear. And I think the confusion was this isn't a typical process for COPOLCO. Normally, if there's a revision, it's of the guide, not transforming it into a new deliverable. So I don't know if in the future, if something like this that's out of the ordinary happens, we could somehow do a virtual kind of get-together to explain the process, and that would eliminate some confusion. And just one more point, I totally understand leadership's position that there was a CIB, committee internal ballot with results, but now we're here at the plenary, we could also amend those results if that's leadership's understanding of the feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, so if I may, few clarification. So, as a general process, which is a regular process, we don't invent anything different here in COPOLCO. When there is a systematic review or a proposal for a revision, the revision may mean revision of the text or transformation into a different deliverable. We haven't done anything different here. So we asked, the question in the ballot was revision of the guide and to transform it into a different deliverable international standard. This is done for many other deliverables. This is not something new. If you have a guide, when you want to revise a guide, you can transform it in a different deliverable. You can ask members to vote to transform it in a different deliverable. Nothing special here. So it's done in other committees, it's done in CASCO. When there is a revision, I can give you examples. For instance, 17021-5 or -3, it was initially a technical specification. When the revision was proposed, it was also transformed in an international standard. So this is normal process, nothing special here. Now, in terms of what the plenary can do vis-a-vis the CIB, I'm sorry, but this is not normal process that here at the plenary, where we do not have 100% of the membership, we are not planned here to take a vote on a CIB. So the CIB vote is what it is. Now, we have precedents in other committees where we did have a CIB, there was a vote that was not very conclusive, and then the CAG, the Chair's Advisory Group, looked at the situation and proposed a way forward. But again, we cannot just re-vote here in the plenary and ignore the vote of the CIB. And in terms of confusion, I could acknowledge that some people may have been confused, but the title of the title was, to me, quite clear. There was, yes, it was product and service information for consumer, which is a kind of an abbreviation, but then it says proposal to revise ISO IEC Guide 14, products and related services information for consumers. So I think it was pretty clear that it was referring to the guide and that it was both to revise and to transform into international standard. Again, if members feel that there is still a need to discuss, what we can do here is to propose, to recommend to CAG to look further into this. But the result of a CIB is a result of a CIB. And we are not revoting the CIB in a plenary. Thank you.
I save my personal position, but we don't have the times. But let's finish this discussion. I will invite SA, please.
Yeah, thank you. I just wondered whether to move this forward, it would help the. I mean, it could go back to the working group, and I understand the principles behind we've got to move forward on this. But I would be interested to know what the opposition is, to be honest. In the debate in Standards Australia, we found that, or some people were concerned of the standard puts more requirements onto the people using the standard, and the guide is in fact a principle-based document. But I suppose what I'm saying is if we really knew what the opposition, what is concerning people, then the committee that's going to develop the new standard would be able to take that in mind, and the development process could in fact go ahead. But if people had more knowledge of to what other people saw was the problems, then it might help to move the whole thing forward. I hope that makes sense.
Okay, I think I need to close this discussion. I think in COPOLCO culture, in standard culture, process is very important. But for COPOLCO culture, consensus is very important. So we respect the CIB result, we should. However, let's think back to the process and thinking about what if we explain enough to members, and what if it was very much working group works, not to the COPOLCO members. So we'll check. So we'll back to discussion in the CAG, yes, CAG, and then carefully consider your concerns, because I believe the functionality of guide and individual international standards are different, and our expectation different. So we need to care about your concerns. So yes, okay. So guide developed by COPOLCO, we write the guides, and international standards write the technical people. So that's also different. So we'll think about, our goal is to make maximizing our benefit, whatever it is guide, whatever it is international standards. So we'll discuss this one at the CAG, if you allow me. I want to close this discussion.
Can I just ask for
Sadie is the last comment,
yes,
right?
It's very short. I just asked for a clarification. In the paper of Working Group 22, sorry, it says proposed action, Working Group, propose it to update in light of the results of COB and further discussions at the plenary, and submit a final draft for ISO member vote. So this is what we are discussing, and they have a draft resolution. So we are like, the people are just responding to the paper and the proposed draft resolution with their thoughts. They aren't, no one is suggesting this is wrong and this is, they are just asking questions and trying to respond to the paper and trying to respond and answer, because we have to make the resolutions at the end. So I think this is good. It's a good discussion, and thank you for allowing it, Moon. But I think, of course, if the working group update the paper in response to the CIB, they must, of course, issue it to COPOLCO before they send it to TMB. I think this is the process, but we are grateful for the working group 22 to do this as they propose in the paper, and then we can see the result of this. Thank you.
So, would you mind, Sally? So your suggestion is not keep the draft resolution made by Working Group 22 to open more discussion at the CAG and also members?
My suggestion is to ask the Working Group 22 to complete its proposed action as in the paper, and then they can complete more the new work item proposal because it's very thin on purpose, and I think they can we have to do a better job before going to TMB to ask these things. So I think we are going along the same route. We are following well the process. They ask for further discussions at plenary. We have just done this. And then they say they will adapt the new work item according to the discussions and their comments in the CIB. I think they have some. Then they will, then the working group will send around the final document to COPOLCO before submitting to TMB, because we want to make sure and contribute to make the best chance possible of the TMB accepting. So the paper is not in a position as yet to be sent to TMB, and Working Group 22 have committed to the proposed action, and I think it's all fine.
Okay, yes. So would you mind if I conclude this discussion? So we are, I feel that we are on the same position. Yes, yeah, circles, point of circles. Okay, I don't know that English though. Okay, we are on the same position. So, okay, thank you very much. I'd like to move on to next agenda item.
Sorry, this is a report of Working Group 22. They put a good paper together and they asked the plenary to discuss many things. And they are putting forward draft resolutions, such as on AI. So, of course, this is a job of the plenary, and why we are here. We have all read the papers very thoroughly, and we appreciate Working Group 22 work, but we must respond to their questions because this is the work of the plenary to answer their questions and contribute in case, in the case of AI, which we have a comment. All the members must contribute and be heard, so we can contribute and improve the work. This is what we are trying to help everything.
Yes, thank you, Sadie. So, proposed resolution by Working Group 22. We have same concern from Chair and Secretariat that it's not on the track of COPOLCO process in some resolutions. So this one, Secretariat or AI and yes, Working Group 22 resolution, artificial intelligence, and it says further request the COPOLCO Secretariat to convey the finalized draft to the ISO Council Secretariat for consideration at the Council meeting in June 2024 is not only practically, but it's not possible because there are certain processes that we have to have discussion with the members, and members should provide enough information about this proposal, but there was not the process that as far as I understand. So we'll review some resolutions suggested by Working Group 22, including the one that you suggested. Yeah. So, BSI, this is a really last comments, right? Nikki, please.
Yes. So sorry, Moon. Can I? Are we opening up a discussion around the AI side now? Is that possible?
If I may, Nikki, for the resolution on AI, the last part that says further request the COPOLCO Secretariat to convey the finalized draft to the ISO Council Secretariat, this is not to be included in the final resolution. This is what we are saying here, that this is not, that the paper is not ready, it needs to be worked more on it, it is not clear what they want the Council to do with it, what is the objective that they want to attain. And again, the June Council meeting is the week after next. The papers have been already published, so even from a timing consideration, this cannot go further like that. So what we are saying is that for the resolution on the artificial intelligence proposed by the Working Group 22, the last sentence of the resolution is going to be deleted.
Okay, that's fine, but I suppose all I'm saying is I think there was also an invitation to comment on the discussion paper. Are you still inviting comments on the discussion paper or not?
You mean AI?
Yes.
Papers? Well, not during the plenary, but back to the Working Group 22. And then if they have any prepared draft, then we'll open to the members. But is that your question, Nikki?
I suppose it was. You know, I think there would be a valuable discussion to be had by the members around this issue. So, but if there isn't time for that now, then that's fine. So I was just seeking clarity on that. But I do think it is worthy of discussion based on the papers that were circulated ahead of the meeting.
Okay, so as a medium solution, let's take a look at the COPOLCO resolution by Working Group 22 says COPOLCO invites the COPOLCO members to submit any additional comments to the COPOLCO Secretariat within 1 week, but we'll delete within 1 week. We are not going to limit this short time. We'll give all members chance to understand AI issues and other Working Group 22 action item issues, so that we can get more insight from COPOLCO members. Okay? Please, let's move to the next agenda items. Can I? Okay. Anek?
Yeah, of course, that's one way of doing it, to sort of take away the time limit and allow members to continue to give feedback and give input. So I don't mind that. But as a rule of procedure, it's very strange to, in documents, ask COPOLCO members for their comment when we actually have a possibility to meet, and then not to use that opportunity. For me, I don't have a lot of input from Anik on this topic, but I think it's very strange to firstly ask for us when we actually gather here across the world to ask for our input and then say that we're not going to do it and you're just going to send comments. It's a very strange procedure. It's not that I have that much input on the topic itself.
Yes. Thank you very much. All clarification from you and all suggestions. So it's important that we do something on time, but at the same time, this is very important that we are on the same page with the same, thought. So thank you very much. So I'd like to invite the Working Group 24 co-convener, Guillermo Jucal, for the next item, reporting from Working Group 24, Consumer Safety. He's online. He was waiting too long. I'm sorry, Guillermo.
No, thanks, Dr. Moon. It's a pleasure for me to be here. I understand that there is good discussions and it's good to have the time to do that. I want to give all of you my greetings. I am not there, but I would like to be there taking a coffee with all of you. I can see some friends there, so I hope you are enjoying the plenary and you can have time for discussions. But I will be trying to be very fast because I think you are near to have lunch. So I'm going to make the report of the Consumer Safety Working Group 24. Many of the members of this working group are there. So if they want to add something to what I am going to say, please do it, because I cannot talk about all of the issues that this working group is done, and because of the good work of all the members that we have there. So I'm going to be very fast with the terms of reference. The scope of this working group is to investigate safety issues and make recommendations on standards to reduce risk of harm caused by goods and services. This is the main issue, and protect consumer rights, of course, including sustainability. And provides information on safety of goods and services for consumers, and look for future areas of concern in the area of safety. And we have the mandate to promote safer consumer goods services through COPOLCO and ISO, recognize hazards in consumer goods and propose standards to address them, and promote consistent safety requirements in standards. Communication regarding safety concerns. Maybe you know, all of you know this, but it's good to remember because of the changes we have in the working groups. The next, please, Adrian. About safety, all of us know what is safety, but maybe it's good to have this clarification, because safety covers the range of consumer treatment, and we call the treatment that could be some direct treatment is about financial, psychological, or physical harm, or can be indirect, as for example impacts such as environmental, health, or economics. Business costs or higher prices, because sometimes safety is looking only for physical harm, but it covers many other things. So this is, we are looking for safety in the consumer interaction with an organization, including concepts sometimes covered by security. The next one, Adrian. After the last plenary, we have two working groups meetings. Both of them were virtual meetings, and we were very lucky because our membership was increasing. We have 54 members, 1 liaison, from 25 countries. And this is a very good support for 54 members, but we try to encourage the people to work on this very important issue for all consumers. The next one, please, Jim. As you can see, or maybe if you could read the report that is in the working documents for the plenary, the area of work is very broad, and we have many things to discuss there. We are discussing for this year in the work program about small boat propeller safety issues, because some accident that we had the report. We are discussing about electrical installation inspections in dwellings, some proposals from AFNOR about to look how are our electrical installation, because sometimes if we don't take care, it could be dangerous. We are looking for nanotechnologies. Now lithium batteries become some danger product for the people that doesn't know some curves that they have. Internet of Things, button and point batteries, smart toys, small magnets, and the guidelines for advertising to children. That is many of these are discussions that we have for many years, but always are present in COPOLCO. And we are supporting the development of some standards that are now being developed in ISO. One of them is, and that we are starting in COPOLCO. Then one of them is menstrual products standard that is going to become the next first meeting is going to be held next month, I think. We are supporting also the development of the ISO 31 managing risks for youth and school trips, and in the TC 2.7 it is the development of the self-declared environmental claims that is very important for consumers, and it was now published the ISO 5665 about consumer incident investigation. We are also participating in the joint task group about the consumer needs in artificial intelligence. That is, I think, a very important issue that you were discussing a few minutes ago, and I think the discussion is always open, because artificial intelligence is always doing steps very, very fast, and we have to look for that always. We are looking for new proposals of standards. One is the revision of the cross-border trade of second-hand goods, and this is going to be done with some characteristics that you can read in the report. And we are monitoring also the provision of the ISO 10377 about guidelines for suppliers, and also we are proposing the recommendation for addressing consumer needs in the ISO IC Guide 74 that is going to be to update. No? And we are working in an old, for some members of COPOLCO, it is an old issue that is staff articles that begins in 2017, but now we are working with this started with the Standard Council of Canada, and now we are working on to prepare the new work item proposal that is going to be developed in few days. So the next one, Adrian, please. And what is why we need people to work on the consumer safety? Because the different issues that you could see demand different type of expertise and different. We need to look for the views of different people of different countries and from the different members. We have 54 members, but not all of them are participating frequently in the working group meetings, and so we are inviting them to be more close to the working group. We need to work and to participate in the development of the revision of the 20 to 45 cross-border trades of second hand and goods, and to work then on the I hope the possible standard of staffing articles. But as you can see in the work program, we need people that can work maybe in small groups or to develop these different issues for small boats, for electrical installation, nanotechnologies, lithium batteries, smart toys, button and point batteries, small magnets. We have to look for risks and hazards that can affect consumers, and we have to look if these issues need to be prepared as finally, if it is needed, a standard for some of these issues. We were thinking that small boat propellers prevention, we are in the way discussing the working group to have some proposals for developing standards, and we are working on that. The next Ajam.
That's everything.
I want to be fast because of the time. I understand that maybe you need time for not only for lunch, because also for discuss very important issues. So the report is on this report is on the documents, and I hope that if there is people of the working group in the floor, if you want to comment some special issue that I mentioned very fast, you can have the floor for this. And I want to give my thanks to Moon, to Dr. Moon, for the hard work that she is doing in this working group, not only as convener, because she has to work as chair, and so thank you very much, Dr. Moon, and also my thanks to all the working group members and to Adrian, because they are developing a very, very good work, and I think safety is a very concern for consumers. Now including artificial intelligence. So thank you very much. And if you have any question?
We do have online, Tati Mariati requested the floor. Can you hear us, Tati? We cannot hear you. There you are. Thank you. We still cannot hear you.
I am not hearing anything.
No, we cannot hear, although she is unmuted. Maybe we want to write your question, since we're having technical trouble, and meanwhile we can give the floor to somebody in the room.
Any question from the floor until waiting the online? Okay. I have two hands. NC first and then PSI.
Hi, Guillermo. How are you doing? Appreciated your report. I just wanted to comment on the revision of 20245. In reading over the proposal, it needs some clarification. For example, on the term minimal screening, it just was difficult to find out what was minimal for the secondhand goods screening. Also, in number 4 in part 1, it discusses the term refurbished and remanufactured, but then it states in the proposal that it does not apply to goods remanufactured or rebuilt. So I think that needs clarification. Also, there is no part 2 and just part 1. So I think that these are the things that we wanted to make sure that they were addressed. Also, I'm just going to say with the revision or the working on stuffed articles, I'm on that small task group, and I think that we needed additional people to help as we develop that proposal.
Linda, nice to see you there. It's excellent that you're there. Maybe I will need some, you know, some help for answer your question about the cross-border things, you know, because I think that very specifically your question, and I don't know if someone of the
I can help there.
The people, maybe Adrian, you can share, help me, because I understand, but not all what Linda wants to say.
The Working Group 23 co-conveners are splitting the work, and this one wouldn't fall exactly under Guillermo's responsibility, but I am intimately involved with 20245. And from the paper, you will see the whole history on how we got to split it into two standards. You are right regarding your technical comment you had over there. We are looking at consumers to participate in developing that standard. And let's not forget, this is only the draft seed document that has been proposed. It will be evolved into a working draft, and it will go through all the approval. We are not only looking for participants for the staff articles, as you perfectly mentioned. This ballot is currently open for COPOLCO, but we're also looking for participants on the cross-border trade standard 20245. So I think plenary is not the way to address those technical issues, but as Linda perfectly pointed, we do want consumers to be at the table when this will be discussed. And let's not forget, we do have a consumer as co-convener developing these standards. So SAC is leading the work together with a proponent from Working Group 24 from CATS. I hope this answer your question, Linda. We do have two more hand raises online after the floor.
Okay, on two. BSI?
Thank you. Good to see you, Guillermo. I'm sorry you are not here, but it's good to see you. I'm just referring to the resolutions that we must respond to from the plenary. And I just had the question. It asked to approve the submission of the new work item proposal as a new international standard. But I'm not sure we have seen this, or can you just update where we are with the Stafford article situation, just for information, because we haven't got it in the paper, so I don't know if we can approve. Of course, we can approve Working Group 24 to continue with their work or something, but I'm just asking this. With regards to second-hand goods, I think it's very welcome to Linda to share her comments and to be minuted, because in the resolution it invites members to input into the national position on the ballot for this new proposal. So I think we have received it in the member bodies. We have received a questionnaire, like, I can't think the word, but we have received it for comment in the NSB. So it's very useful to having other comments of concern. Or, of course, we want to support this proposal from COPOLCO, so it will be useful for our information. Anything we can also submit into our national position.
May I? Mr. Chair? May I?
Yes, please.
20245 will be circulated for TMB ballot, And that's when we expect every nations to participate on that and consumers to contribute to the national position on that ballot. The staff article has been circulated as a CIB ballot to COPOLCO last week. The CIB ballot will close at the end of June. We're just drawing the attention to participate on that CIB ballot.
Thank you, Sadie, for your question. It's nice to see you there also, and thanks for that. I think Adrian will respond to you, and always the resolutions, I want to clarify something. These are proposals from the Working Group 24, but always the plenary can have the decision if they can support this resolution or can have some amendments to the resolution. So these are our proposals in the state that the documents are. But thanks Eddie, always for your cooperation and collaboration.
Adrian, you said 2 more questions online.
We have Tati Mariatti, which had the hand raised before. Can you hear us now, Tati? Okay, I can see you can hear us because you are unmuted, but we can still not hear you. And I did not receive your question in written, I'm sorry. We do have Ariel Safari.
Okay, thank you then. Thank you for the opportunity given to me. Actually, refers to the draft made regarding the consumer product safety for the second-hand goods. Is there any dispute resolution guide in it? And apart from that, if we relate it to online trade between countries, which is increasingly currently, perhaps this is a common problem related to the incidence of non-compliance between the products offered and those received. I don't know if there is a standard guideline for dispute resolution mechanism for online trade discussed at working group. I mean the cross-border online trade. Thank you.
I'm not sure I understand the question. So you're asking what is the process of proposing the resolutions?
May I?
Yes.
Yes. I'd like to support his suggestion. But I have another hand. So let me hear members first, and then I'll talk. So, Kat.
Thank you, Chair. I heard about the cross-border online shopping. So it's very hot issue in Korea nowadays. So I'd like to introduce the Korean experience briefly and then make a suggestion. Recently, the cross-border B2C e-commerce market in Korea has been growing rapidly. Therefore, concerns about consumer protection and product safety in this market are also growing significantly. As a result of a safe test in Korea, hazardous substances were detected in many products purchased directly from overseas. But it is a very complex issue. Especially we found that it's very hard to balance consumer choice right with the consumer protection. I think it is not a problem only in Korea, so COPOLCO members can work together. Kat would like to propose to discuss the consumer protection of cross-border online shopping. Maybe, for example, it could be a workshop theme if many COPOLCO members are interested in this issue. Thank you.
still.
Yes. You have to excuse me, but you know, I am not English native speaker, and when there is distortion in the communication, it's very hard for me to understand what they are saying. So I couldn't understand very well because of the problem of the sound. So what they are saying, but maybe you and Adrian have more because Katsi it will be more involved in the second-hand goods, but and also
Didn't get it
very
either.
well this history.
Okay, let me, because first question, as far as I know, we don't have specified international standard can help the safety issues in cross-border online transaction by consumers. And each country has their own regulations, but it's cross-border transaction directly by consumers. It's hard to protect consumers, especially related to safety issues. So thank you for your question and suggestion. And also, I think CATS has also same concerns. Right now, the online transaction is very increasing all over the world. So, and not only safety issues, but safety issues, major concerns. So I hope that Working Group 24 can have further discussions and works on these issues. When we raise the needs of revision of second-hand goods, we had the same concerns that we need to have some principle of safety of second-hand goods. Although it's, consumers choose because it's cheap or because they want to practice circular economies, many reasons. But all products must be safe. Doesn't matter if it's online transaction, offline transaction, or new products or second products. So I hope that we can make some good principle that can be applied to other regulations, country level of regulations. So I support your suggestion, and also I support CAT's suggestion as a co-convener of Working Group 24. Sorry. Sorry, I'm interrupting Guillermo.
Thank you.
Guillermo, would you mind if I...
Hello, Dr. Moon. Hello?
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear you.
we can hear you.
Okay. I'm talking from Eastern Indonesia, yeah. I'm not sure my question has been discussed or not yet, as the voice is not really clear. Just try to understand it reading the screen. But our concern recently seems to be concern of many consumers in the world in increasing using the AI in various sectors as technologies speed faster than our own activities, especially in general activities such as online shopping. When the former attendants asked, Mr. Arif asked about the cross-border, but I asked about each country regulation, inside regulation, as you didn't identify a characteristic of each stakeholder in each country, maybe different regulation, how COPOLCO manage that regarding to using artificial intelligence in many sectors, especially nowadays they use it in medical checkup. They took our blood and testing, and then they can find out our DNA, something like that. It's really dangerous to find our own identity. That's it. Thank you.
Guillermo,
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you very much, Tati. I think it is a concern for all of us, as you mentioned, and we have to take care of and to consider it when we want to discuss about artificial intelligence on that. And this is part also, we are sharing with Working Group 2022 this concern about artificial intelligence in the terms of safety. So thanks for your view, and we invite you to work with us in the Working Group to address these concerns also. Thank you very much. I don't know if someone else want to mention something. Some member from the Working Group 24 want to say something or to add something that is good.
Okay, I cannot see anyone have a further question on the floor, and no one from online.
No, nobody.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't. Would you?
My name is Alice Kemunto from Consumer Grassroots Association, Kenya. I just wanted to add to what you said about cross-border consumer protection and giving a scenario of what is happening locally. We strongly believe that we cannot keep reinventing the wheels over and over again, but rather strengthen what is existing. So we believe that every country has the National Bureau of Standards, and we also have like in Africa, we have COMESA and other recs, the regional blocks, and at the continental level, we also have regulations that are being applied. The only challenge that is existing that needs to be addressed is the enforcement bit of it. But every country, nationally and also regionally, we have laws and standards that are being applied, which are meant to protect consumers. So from where I sit and where most consumer advocates sit is enforcement that needs to be worked on, to be beefed up at national level and at regional level, and that will assure consumers of the safety. Thank you. It's just an additional to what you said. Thank you.
Okay, Guillermo, there is no more question on the floor, and then I think from Consumers Council Kenya, the suggestion and comments is very valuable, so we'll take them on work, and if it's okay, then Guillermo, is okay, they close this section. We are really behind of the schedule. So thank you very much, Guillermo. You are in the morning, all in the morning, 5 a.m. Sorry, very sorry. And then at the same time, appreciate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Moon. Thank you very much to the members of the working group. And if you let me, I want to give my special greetings to Dana, because maybe it's her last plenary, I think. So Dana was a special secretary for me when I was chair of COPOLCO. So my special greetings for her, and good luck, Dana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Guillermo. I appreciate that.
Okay.
I'm wishing you
I would like to be there for sharing with you maybe a coffee. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Dana has some announcement, right?
Thank you. I just wanted to invite you, before you go to lunch, to stop on the lawn. We're going to try and have a group photo. So there's a lawn in the middle of the courtyard, if on your way to lunch you could just please stop on the lawn, we will all gather there for a group photograph. And then we go to lunch, and we will come back